Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new Imperator Rome campaign. As you probably saw from the title, this is going to be sort of a beginner-friendly campaign. And what I mean by that is that I will try and explain everything that I'm doing. I figured it would be nice to have some more in-depth playthrough, since there are quite a few new players who have started to pick up Imperator Rome. This also means that this will go probably a bit slower than what I usually play, which is certainly an achievement in its own, but we shall see. So yeah, the idea is I'll try and explain as I make any choices, what we're doing, etc, etc going forward. Now, what we are going to be playing is the nation of Vasconia in Iberia. Partly because I haven't played in Iberia for a very, very long time, and also I think it's kind of decent as far as a beginner nation goes, or at least it seems to be. We don't have any huge major rival against us close by here. I'm sure Rome will beeline for us eventually, but by the time that happens, we'll probably have achieved our goals. They also have a unique mission, since we're playing with the Invictus patch, and there's also a couple of formable nations. Aquitania and Greater Aquitania, I believe. So the idea is to play through, do the unique missions, and form those nations, and then we'll go from there. I will be playing on Iron Man rule just in case it, crashes. We get the autosaves going from that. I will turn on mixed gender rules as well. Generally, unless you don't want to, it just gives you more people to put in various positions. It gives you a bigger pool of people to choose from, essentially. Apart from that, everything else is normal, so we'll just start up and start having a look. Yeah, sure, that'll be fine. Alright, so we are Vasconia here. We are a settled tribe. We have Vasconian heritage, which gives us one less diplomatic relation. It's not very good. Hostile attrition plus 0.5 and pop assimilation speed. Pop assimilation speed is very, very nice generally, especially when you're growing larger, because the quicker you can get rid of any foreign elements, the happier your nation will be. So apart from that, what's this here? Okay, aggressive expansion impact plus 10% because of our tribal chief. Oh, he's reckless. Good, good, good. And plain speaking, apparently. So, let's have a quick look then regarding the rest of our nation. We have, we went through the Vasconian heritage. We are a settled tribe, which means that we get these things here. Nothing exciting over there. We will not abolish social equity. It will be as it stands. And yeah, as we can see here, we do have, well, we have the option to form Greater Iberia. We're not going to be doing that. But we are going to be doing is Aquitania, which requires us to take that land over there, as well as Greater Aquitania. So that is the end goal, together with the mission. In fact, let's start up the mission, just in case there's some specific things we need to do based on that. So the first things we need to do here is have a quick look at the mission. First thing requires us to enact Council Legal Authority Law. And we need to own at least 3 territories with hills, mountains or forests, and with a tribal settlement building. Okay, so that's fair enough in terms of laws here. Now, when you are a tribe, the left side here is if you want to decentralize, and the right-hand side here is if you want to centralize. Now, we are going to centralize, I believe, here, because it eventually allows you to transition into a monarchy or a democracy, which are easier, arguably, nation types to play with. So basically, as we can see here, any law you pick from here gives extra monthly centralization. Anything you pick from here gives, well, decentralization. So if you want to centralize, just stick to everything on the right-hand side. Ignore anything on the left-hand side. Right, let's have a quick look. We are Marite, which is interesting. I believe this is a new religion that doesn't exist in base Imperator Rome. So it only seems to be localized to over here as well. But Marite gives us 3% population happiness, extra navy maintenance. If anyone has seen any of my previous playthroughs, you know I hate navies anyway, so that suits me fine. And we also get light infantry defense, which is pretty decent. Nothing to complain about there. We can have a quick look here. We're probably not going to change out any deities at the moment. The main thing we want to ensure is that all of them are of the correct religion. And they are. And the reason for that is that any form of mismatch, now we probably don't have any wrong religion people, but basically people of your, or people in your territory who are not of your faith will eventually convert over to your faith. But if you have any mismatching deities, so say we were to include a, let's see whether we can actually do it. But we only seem to have Marite ones here now. But yeah, if we were to put the Roman deity in here, basically they'll get a negative modifier on how quickly they convert. So generally speaking, you always want to have people of the correct faith here, or the correct deities of the correct religion in here. Not always the case, not going to say that, but generally speaking, just stick to that. Alright, anything else we need to go through? We do have these pop-ups here, so we need to pick some of our ideas. As a settled tribe, we have one military idea and one oratory idea. Now, you don't need to pick these ones. If we wanted to, we could put in 2 religious ideas instead. That is perfectly fine. However, you miss out on the bonus here, so not saying that you always want to pick the correct ones or the matching ones here, but generally speaking, that makes it easier. So, as far as military ideas, we have reinforcement speed and army morale recovery. Can be decent. We also have shipbuilding costs. We don't even have any coastal territory at the moment, and I hate navies. We're definitely not going to go for this one. And we also have morale of armies. Now, pretty much everyone around us at the moment are going to be of equal power, at least in the beginning. So having an advantage in morale, or at least not having a disadvantage in case they pick this one, is usually a good idea. So generally speaking, unless you're very large compared to your neighbors, picking morale of armies as your first one is always a good thing. And we also have an oratory one here. We have monthly corruption, we have loyalty of generals, loyalty of admirals, and improve opinion maximum. Since we have one less relationship slot, I don't think we need to bother with improving opinion that much. So this one we can probably skip. Loyalty of generals. I don't know how that actually works with tribes. Because what happens if we raise our armies at the moment, basically all the different tribal chiefs are going to be in charge of a small portion of the army themselves. I'm not sure whether they're going to be getting this buff or not, so I think we'll stick with monthly corruption. Monthly corruption is generally, or at least for me, used to counter the effects of giving people free hands. Giving your people free hands, especially governors, does increase their loyalty, but they do get more corruption. But if you couple this ID that we picked now, so the monthly corruption minus 0.05, and we can also increase wages here, which gives an additional minus 0.1. If we now were to give anyone in our government, so if we pick this one, we can give him free hands. It's almost countering the entirety of that. So if you can get some more innovations or some wonder or something that also lowers corruption, you'll basically be able to give them free hands for free. And it does give a flat 20 loyalty, so it is very, very useful. Okay, we need to call down an omen as well. Assault ability, that's an interesting one. Well, let's check through the other ones instead. Religious tech investment, we are a tribe. Our research at the beginning is going to be absolutely atrocious. Don't think we need to worry about that one. National slave happiness could be okay, but I think slaves' happiness doesn't really matter that much. It will lower the chance of revolt, but you still get the full economic output from slaves regardless of how happy they are. Pop assimilation speed. We just had a look. We don't have anything that's assimilating or needs assimilating at the moment. So I think we'll pick assault ability. So let's go with that. Great stuff. We also have 2 unused trade routes. So let's see what we can do here. Now, generally speaking, the first thing we probably want to do is to get some initial power. As I mentioned, at the moment we're pretty much on the same power level as everyone else around here. I mean, there might be some small changes here, but we'd want to get some initial land or something similar just to make sure that we are more powerful than anyone else. So I think based on that, we might actually, I mean, precious metals is always good. Well, we can't get precious metals, so never mind that. We can get leather, which gives us spearman defense if we get the capital bonus for that. Do we have spearmans? We have light infantry and light cavalry. Okay. Can we get anything that boosts those ones? Doesn't look like it. Pop promotion speed. Grain. Wine. Leather. I mean, it's not looking particularly exciting at the moment, to say the least. We could just go for some food. That's always decent. What? So we can get National Freeman Happiness, National Slave Happiness. Again, we don't really care about Slave Happiness. National Freeman Happiness wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. We could also go for leather just because we are probably going to be renting some mercs. The question is whether even the mercs have some spearmen in them. Alright. Let's just go with, I mean, livestock is 0.3. Wine is also 0.3. Livestock marginally more useful, so sure, we'll go for that one. There we go. Pop promotion speed. That will swap people around a bit quicker. Okay, what else do we need to do? Everything here is okay. Don't need to do anything here. Government, we do want to change out these ones. Now, normally, if we were playing a monarchy, where we can actually do research, I would focus on putting some good people in charge here, just to boost up the research. What we can do here, though, is try and find some people with intelligent as a trait. Because this gives us a chance to generate free innovations. And I think that's a lot more likely to happen than us actually, you know, figuring out something on our own. So we can still match this guy with his best skill, which is going to be finesse. So put this guy in here. I mean, he's not particularly good, but he's better than everyone else, essentially. So let's put him here. And I'm tempted to free up some of these ones just to, you know, have better people for our actual jobs. So we can put someone here who is not terrible. Like, put you there. That's a 7. That's not the worst. Do we have someone here? We have an 8 there. 6. Yeah, you'll do. You'll be fine. And as far as religion goes, put the 7 there as well. Alright, and with that we can look at our actual government positions here. So, what have we got there? Aggressive expansion change, always useful. Aggressive expansion, when it gets too high, is going to negatively impact your stability. So, generally you want to try and push this down. So, do we have anyone more competent for this job? We do indeed. Slightly better at least. Who is terrible? You are pretty terrible. So let's put this one in charge there instead. 8, 8. All the other ones are not too shabby, to be honest. Do have a slightly better one there as well, so let's go with that. Now, the amount of political influence we are generating is directly related to how happy these people are. So this bodyguard here, for instance, is down to only 55. But as mentioned, we can give her free hands. She'll be a lot happier, and we'll be able to get some more out of her then. Lowest one now is the Magistrate, which is where? That would be you. You're not particularly happy either. I mean, again, we can do this. It is going to make them cost a bit more money as well as the corruption increases, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Excuse me. Alright, that's that done. Culture, nothing really to do here. We only have one culture in our glorious country, so we will also accept all trades. Not going to impact us at the moment, but later on when we grow, it's a pain in the ass to sit and actually micromanage trade. You only normally want to micromanage trade for your capital capital province. The rest automatically done. What you can do is block people from trying to steal your food, which we'll probably do here as well. Is honey food now? I know they changed something, so let's have a quick look here. Grain, fish, livestock, vegetables. No, honey is no longer food. Okay. So, we're fine. Dates was food. What else was food? Not fruits. There's fruits. Fish. Vegetables. That's 7. Is that it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. Great stuff. Right. I mean, we're almost on pause. Managed to unpause now. We don't have any innovations, so we can ignore that for now. Missions. Right. Let's have a quick look here to see what we need then. We need Council Legal Authority Law. We can actually change that straight away, so we probably shall. Which would be this one here. It's going to cost us some stability, but that seems fine anyway. Do that. Good job. We also need to build buildings, but we're going to hold on to our money for the time being, just in case we need it for some mercenaries or something like that. Okay, for that one, we just need to build a fort there. Again, well, I don't even think we have enough money to build a fort. We do not. We can build one tribal settlement. We'll cool down on that for now. Right. Next thing then. Missions. Setting sites on the Atlantic. So this one has no prerequisites. So an event chain will trigger where we can decide what to do with our neighbors, the Vardulia, but we're definitely going to attack them. I assume we can, I don't know. Hopefully we'll just get claims on their land, so I think we'll just start that one then. Apart from that, yeah, next one is we own it, and it needs to be a city with pop 15. Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, this is going to be quite a slow tree, I think. We'll start this one anyway. If we want unfettered access to the Mare Cantabrum, and Scarisker Amides certainly does, that would be us, then we have a problem. The tribes of Ardulia are standing in our way. Something has to be done. We will have to decide whether to pursue peaceful or violent means. Definitely violent. Always violence. We must reach the Atlantic. A war council has been summoned in Calaguris, where the tribal chieftains of Vasconia shall weigh in with their opinions. Okay, great stuff. Yeah, so we need to do that. At least we can check here what the next tier of missions are. So we need our capital to be city, have a bunch of crap in it. Okay. Yaka needs a training camp. But it needs to have a fortress. So you're saying we need to turn that one into a city, eh? Alright. This is going to cost a lot of political influence here. Basically, the first thing here is to have that one as a fortress building, which is fine. Second one is that needs to have a training camp. Now, trading camps can only be built into cities. So we would need to convert that into a city. Okay. Interesting. Well, we know that then. And yeah, that one needs to be a city. We already know that one. At least 2 countries within the Aquitania region and the Transalpine Gaul region, whose primary culture is Aquitania, have an alliance with us and at least 65 opinion. Okay, so Aquitania, right. These guys here, eh? Aquitanian. Okay, so we actually need to ally 2 of these ones and keep them happy. I mean, we are going to have to betray them at one point, because if I'm not mistaken, we do need their land to actually form Aquitania. And we need all of this stuff. So these are going to be temporary alliances for sure. Okay. I'm not sure if it matters that much which ones we will get with. I mean, we want to conquer the ones that we are bordering straight away. So, how about you? Would you like some alliance? You will take an alliance. Alright, let's get an alliance with you. We can get an alliance with you as well. Now, the problem is, as you know from before, we only have one alliance position or one diplomatic relation here. So we are going to take a 10% penalty now to the monthly political influence. I think that is fine though. We hopefully won't, well, I say that, but we are going to need to build a bunch of cities as well, so we shall see. Alright. Anything else we need to do? Yes, we do. Since we're just talking about generating political influence, usually keeping your ruler influencing is always a good point. It will lose him some popularity, which doesn't really matter that much, but it will give us, as you can see here, 20% more influence. And it also provides a bunch of events which allows you to gain a bunch of extra political influence, and political influence is just king, so let's just go with that. Great. And finally, what we can do as a tribe is summon a war council. So this will hopefully give us some free claims on, well, one of these nations here, so let's just go with it. War council for the win. Right. Who do we want to attack here? Vardulia is this one. I suspect we're going to get some claims or something on them, so let's not worry about that. Who the heck is Sibuzatia? That would be you. Now, I'm all for that one. Or we can conquer Luzonia. You, we don't need whatsoever. So I think we will go for Sibuzatia here. Which is great. That means that, well, we can't declare war right now. We need to wait until the 1st of November. But we can sort out our armies and get over there and hopefully strike them down before they have a chance to get any alliances. But we shall see. Now, one final thing that I thought I'd mention is that while you're not at war, it's always wise to just put down army maintenance here. This is only really relevant, or the army maintenance only really matters when you have your armies raised. If you don't have them raised, then the morale of armies minus 25% doesn't really matter, and it does give you 5% extra integrated culture happiness, so try to remember to put this one down as soon as you finish a war, and, you know, before you declare a war, remember to increase it as well. Okay. So, next episode, we will be going to war straight away, just to grab some initial power. And then we'll see how we get on with the mission. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.